and I think that if you just rotate it a certain way, it's easier access. Oh, hey, we're live on the internet. Hey, everyone. Stoop Kid here with another fine edition of Talking Out Our Ass. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Roxy. How are you today, Roxy?
I'm doing well. I'm really glad we're back at it again this week. Feels like we left off with, feels like I've been doing this. I don't know. I woke up and I feel like today is going to be the best episode. Felt really good about it when I woke up. How about you?
Yeah, vibes are good. We had to take some time off. Some cameras went in some holes and whatnot, but we're back now, and we are ready to jam. We've got a very exciting special guest for the people today. And I guess I'll give my spiel about how our show works just for any new viewers, but I'll do that after we bring our guest in. So why don't we go ahead and bring our special guest in?
Well, hello there.
Hey,
Hello.
I know that. I think I know this guy. I've seen him around the internet and places. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our guest joining us today for Talking Out Our Ass is none other than King Ass himself, Mr. Sam Reeves. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I am just lovely, and thank you guys for having me on your show. I've always been a big fan watching along, so it's just great that I finally get to guest on it.
Oh, thanks, man. That really means a lot.
Yeah, it's a great show every week. Or every other week, sorry.
So, Sam, just so you know, and so the viewers at home know, the way that this show works and kind of the whole shtick here, the whole premise is Roxy and I each episode have a guest on who brings us a topic that the guest has not informed us what the topic is. Roxy and I have had zero preparation, absolutely nothing about what it is, and we are tasked with forming an interview on the spot. Right? Did I miss anything, Roxy? You're kind of the mastermind behind this whole thing.
Yeah, no, honestly, that sounds perfect. I think
awesome.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Sam, what have you brought us today?
I mean, this was really hard. Coming up with topics is not really my forte. It's not really what I ever do. So I had to kind of get creative things flowing. So no, I am not Ram Sieves. He and I are going to fight later. But the topic I wanted to talk about today is something very near and dear to my heart, and that is transcendentalist. No, just kidding. It's comedy. I want to talk about comedy.
Fuck. What is that?
I know. What is that?
Well, that's a great question. What is comedy to you?
Thanks. That's our job. We got to ask questions.
Yeah. I know you really have been wanting to get on this show. I know you've been begging us for a few months now. But we do the asking. Just stay in your lane. It's gonna be great. Just take your time.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for an interview. Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna get started, Stu, if you don't mind. What is comedy to you?
What is comedy? So comedy to me, comedy is a well-crafted, thought-out process that makes people laugh. It's not, hate speech. It's not targeted attacking. It's not derogatory remarks just for giggles. It's well-crafted and thought-out art. That's what comedy means to me.
We've made the list of comedians that I thought of very short then. I had a big list in my head, and now
you can go all over the place.
Sam, did you mean specifically stand-up comedy? Because comedy is a pretty wide-ranging.
Not even a little bit.
Like there are comedy movies, TV shows.
There's sketch comedy. There's all sorts.
Comics.
Any and all comedy.
Marmaduke. Are you a big Marmaduke fan? What's your favorite newspaper comic strip?
I can honestly say none of them because I've never gotten a newspaper in my entire life.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You probably can't read.
No, I can't.
So what do you like comedy?
No. I think it's of sinners only. I love comedy. Is the best thing in the world when it's done correctly. So yes, I do love comedy.
Done.
Well, I think we've got a point in the comments that life can do comedy as well, and I think that a core kind of tenet of Sam's existence, as a matter of fact.
I was made as a joke.
Existence in itself is a joke.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are but one large cosmic joke. Roxy, what do you got?
Do you have a favorite form of comedy? Like just a way that would you say stand up is your favorite comedian, or like specials on Netflix? I guess is one, and movies like.
So stand up is my favorite form of comedy because it is comedy in its purest art form and the way it's supposed to be brought across. I do love sketch comedy too. Tim Robinson's great for that. Old SNL, great for that too. Key and Peele are great. Chappelle Show is great. I love
Whitest Kids You Know.
Whitest Kids You Know, fantastic. I mean, anything and everything makes me laugh in most sketch comedy things. But good stand up, there's nothing that really matches that for me.
Fair.
You ever try your hand at it?
I haven't. I've wanted to, but every time I've wanted to, you have to go to a place that's far away and at random ass times to sign up, and I don't have the schedule to do that. So that's kind of why I have this whole shtick.
Yeah, well, you can't be having random ass times. I mean,
That's
you need
true.
very predictable ass times.
Yeah. I mean,
so would you say comedy? What do you think the skills are that make a good comedian? Then, what would you say makes a comedian successful?
I mean, one is flow, and timing is obviously a big part of it. Delivery is another huge part. Taking a situation and actually making it funny is very difficult to do in the right context. So cleverly actually putting something together and making it happen on stage is one of the hardest things that there is to do, especially because I don't know how often you two have ever frequented a comedy club, but a lot of people don't do well.
So you're saying, and Stoop, I'm sorry if I spoke. You're saying that it takes bravery, in a sense. Would you say then that comedians are braver than our soldiers?
As a former soldier, yes, very much so. I'm very much not brave at all. So, yeah,
that's why you haven't gotten out there at the random ass times.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
You mentioned sketch comedy, so that's one of the things I'm thinking about. Are you have you ever had a Monty Python phase? I mean, that's kind of the progenitors of sketch comedy, as far as I'm concerned.
I went through like a little bit when I was like 11 or 12. When my parents like showed it to me. Life of Brian is fantastic. Holy Grail obviously is the go-to for many people.
Yeah, we know Brian. He's got a pretty sweet life.
But I mean, I didn't get too big into it. It is still really well put together and funny, to watch, but it was never like my big thing that caught on for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that when you put it in perspective of the time that they were doing it, very, very irreverent. And yeah, I mean, certainly I think every sketch show that came after that was, the way was paved by those British gentlemen.
Right.
So does you should ask a question, Roxy. That's not a good thought.
All right. So while Stoop gives himself 10 seconds to ensure that that's good. What if so? I guess then continuing with comedy, that's the topic. If somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I need you to put on like a comedy movie for a group of like a group of guests," it doesn't matter like the demographics of the group, anything like that, to sway it. What are you putting on then?
So if it's just like somebody like, oh, I just want to have like a funny feel good movie to sit down and watch too, I always recommend Superbad. It's always fucking funny. That's, I mean, for my age group, I know it's,
Yeah.
not everyone's thing, but
No, I mean we're gonna date ourselves.
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this because it's a lot. It's an art, right? It's a lot like music and whatever. I get into fights with boomers all the time about this. That whatever music was the music that you were listening to when you were coming of age, like that's always going to be it for you. Nothing is ever going to do it for you the way that did it for you. And the same can be said for, I think, for comedy movies or shows or in comedy in general as well. As whatever the thing was when you were coming of age, that's probably what you lean towards. So yeah, for people in our general age bracket, I think Superbad has got to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think nobody asked me, but I think Anchorman is a big would probably be on my Mount Rushmore too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gosh, I'm not under the delusion that this is unique, but I still reference the hell out of Anchorman all of the time.
Same with me, and then with Step Brothers, same way. Tropic Thunder was another big one for me. I know that's a little touchy, but Robert Downey Jr. got nominated for an Oscar, and you would never take that away from him.
Oh my God, he did.
He did.
Wow, Academy.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you fucked up.
That's arts and sciences for you.
That's it. That's the only mistake the Academy's ever made.
I don't think it was a mistake. It was a great performance. Nobody else could have pulled that off.
Yeah, you should do a remake. So a common theme among, I know, stand-up comics for sure is that they pretty much all want to kill themselves. Why is that? What is it like? What's the crossover there?
So it's usually the childhood upbringing. It's the self-deprecating. It's the drinking and the drugs, which are very heavy in the community as well. For several people that I've seen, because I watch podcasts with comedians all the time, the travel really gets to them, especially in the beginning.
Oh, boo fucking who. You gotta see the world. Oh no.
Well, when you're first starting out, you are paying for your own flights. You're having to find stage time and do all that.
Boo fucking who. You gotta travel around and tell some knock jokes.
And get very minimally paid for. You're losing money trying to get your start.
Fucking soft.
So
that's usually a big cause of it. This
is filled with my tears over that conversation. Bad day. But that does lean. Stoop's question does lean into my next question. I recently discovered that there. I know it's always been a thing, but I didn't realize there's like a name to it, like the tragic comedy, like making comedy out of like tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think do you think that kind of leans into what makes that genre like so successful? And if so, and if not, like, what do you think makes it successful? Because it just seems like everybody is quick to humorize tragedy for the sake, I think, of softening the blow.
Mm-hmm.
But
blow.
Yeah.
I mean, the old adage is comedy is tragedy plus time. That's what comedy is birthed out of. It is funny that is the saying because it is often misquoted. Comedy is tragedy plus timing, which is
that's I've never actually heard that one. That's horrible.
It's very misrepresented.
That's fucking horrible.
And that is a very different idea.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, some of us may also find that funny.
It is funny to hear that.
But that is a malaprop. That's not the
exactly. I think tragedy is really what births comedy is. It's a way to cope with tragedy. Doing it at the high level is incredibly tricky, especially when you are in the public and have a target on your back for anything you might say. So a lot of stories or comics telling themselves, don't go on Twitter right after a tragedy and try to make a joke. Let it breathe for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then go after it.
Can't think of any examples of that at all.
Yeah.
So then who would you say, in your opinion, is the most controversial person in comedy right now?
I've got like 3 people that I know he's going to answer one of.
I mean, everyone's gonna go after Dave Chappelle
Yeah, that was number 1.
because they don't understand what he's saying. Anthony Jeselnik's another big one.
Oh, I like him.
He's very controversial. He toes that line and then stomps on it and steps over it. And then I think Sam Morril is probably another one who is very much on that line and doesn't take his time in joking about something.
So he's the one going straight to Twitter, is what you're saying.
Yeah, him and Anthony Jeselnik have been pretty popular for doing that, like minutes or hours after something crazy has happened.
Well, yeah, the one that comes to mind, and I don't have any particular love for this comedian. And by the way, we didn't know this was the topic that was coming to us. As the host of this show, I feel compelled to just put out a general disclaimer here for our audience that we may discuss topics or comics that we don't necessarily condone everything they've ever said or done.
Correct.
Most people famous throughout the course of history have also probably done some shitty things.
A lot of them.
Most, I'd say most. That being said, the best example, or the strongest example that I could think of the faux pas of the going straight to social media, like using your malaprop of tragedy plus timing rather than tragedy plus time, is the Ari Shaffir after Kobe died.
Yep.
That's yeah. Some boy, oh boy. I think I've got filtering issues. And then I think maybe I'm all right.
You did stop yourself about 5 minutes ago too, so
that's true.
getting
You
there.
show some restraint.
Oh,
there.
I stopped myself from asking the suicide question. I did it anyway. So don't give me credit. Don't give me credit when I don't deserve it. What's the last? I know you like to frequent stand-up concert shows.
Yeah, concert shows, you can call them that.
What's the last one you went to?
The last one I went to, I believe, was John Mulaney. Yeah,
the two of you went to that, didn't you?
Yeah, we both went to that. And
it was actually Caitlin and I and Sam third wheel.
Yeah, I was just there.
Driving the car.
But I'll be seeing Adam Sandler this weekend. So that should be a good time.
What's your general feeling on Adam Sandler, his movies, his comedy, all of it?
His stand-up is radically different than his movies, and that's what I like it for.
So you enjoy the stand-up and not so much the movies?
There are like all of his old stuff I still love and watch, all the time. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, The Longest Yard. I think his remake was pretty damn funny the way they did that.
Little Nicky
is always a fun one to watch. But like, a lot of the stuff since he went on Netflix is kitschy and stupid. It's like, dumb family comedy. And that's where he's made a lot of his money. More power to him. There is one hidden gem on Netflix that I like called The Do-Over that he does with David Spade. And it's kind of a more raunchy one. It's not like a family comedy. It's about faking their deaths, and it's pretty nuts. I do like that one. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather watch his stand-up more than his movies.
Yeah, I should give his stand-up a shot, because I get hate for this or whatever, but I said that none of his movies ever fucking did anything for me. Whatever, man.
Not even like the Happy Gilmores and like the older ones, or.
So to be fair, I couldn't.
Sam and I are going to interview you.
To be fair, like as a grown person, I haven't sat and actually watched Happy Gilmore start to finish, but a lot of it was just I don't know, little juvenile, and maybe as I get older and my sense of humor actually reverts in maturity, maybe I'd like that stuff more now.
Performance enhancing drugs help with that.
But
See, that's not like a super far-fetched like thing to say, because like for me, talking back earlier about like those comedies that kind of are solidified in time and like going on the Will Ferrell stretch, like Step Brothers was so funny to me when it came out, and now I can't get through like 10 minutes of it. Like
Really?
it's just stupid humor, and in this, like, obviously that's always how it's been marketed, but it's like a little too stupid for me now. Like, it's
Yeah.
good to just have on in like the background, I guess, but it's not a movie I'll pop in and like pay attention to and be like, yeah, I'm looking to have some laughs or anything, you know? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's just. So one question that popped in my head is who it comes to my, I mean, besides, and I mean, when I say besides the obvious, it's because I think we're all going to have ones that kind of pop in our head right away, but regardless, what comedian comes to mind first when you think of like comedians who passed away that are like kind of in there, like early on? Who do you think would still have like a pretty good career today?
Mitch Hedberg.
oh fuck, yeah, that's timeless. I mean, he could have done that. He could have done that. What he did, he could have done that forever.
He'd be absolutely murdering right now.
Yeah,
mean,
hopefully not literally.
No. Well, no. I can't say he's murdering on stage. That's also
Yeah, still a crime. Even Sam, I don't know if you know, even if you kill somebody on stage, still a crime.
even if you sell tickets.
Even if you sell tickets, still a crime.
That's bullshit.
Of course, and I don't know what this says about me, but I always thought the best stand-up act would be just to sell tickets, and you know what? I already started. I'm too deep in. Just sell tickets and just blow your fucking brains out on stage. I think would be really the goated, really a stand-up act that nobody could top or duplicate.
It's a hell of an opener.
You know? Oh my god, yeah, you're the first, you're the warm-up guy. Oh, they don't do cleanup, and so the headliner comes out and just acting like
So you're saying that Bud R. Dwyer guy would be like a really good comedian?
sure.
He's that politician who shot himself on TV because he was like getting sued. For, like,
yeah, I vaguely remember that.
So he would probably be like the best of the best.
Yeah, that'd be. I'm gonna have to look that up after this. So you're a fan of stand up.
Mhm.
You're not. You haven't tried it yet.
Mm-mm.
What's it gonna take for us to get you up there?
Simply just time. I need availability. I just need stage time. I actually do have a book that I've written shit in and jokes in. I don't know where it is right now, but I do have one somewhere.
There's, Sam, there's an improv club in my neighborhood, so we'll have to get you out to that. Are you comfortable sharing a joke that you would?
Oh, I don't even know.
Well, he can't find his book.
I don't even remember.
Man doesn't remember what he ate for breakfast today.
That's also true.
My issue is always that I wouldn't remember any of the jokes. I'd go up there and I'd forget all the jokes.
That's why you write them down and have a book.
Remember in Joker, he's got all of his books.
Yeah, but everybody hated that guy.
Yeah, his books weren't funny. So what do you have all right, when I say do, what would be your favorite like comedy TV show then?
The Office.
That's
I mean,
fair.
the writing on that show is top notch with the group that they did and the time that they did it in too was obviously beneficial to them. Having writers like BJ Novak, Paul Lieberstein, Mindy Kaling run that show for as long as they were able to do it for was just incredible. And then obviously that evolving into Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine down the road, Mike Schur making those shows. So it just kind of set up a whole genre for that.
Well, I think too that it was in the case of The Office, and I will admit to not being the biggest fan of The Office. I certainly haven't like watched all of it or anything, but I saw enough of it, and I really enjoy watching the outtakes is what I like, because what you realize with, and then this is the case with Always Sunny and a lot of these like very like celebrated, long running comedy series, is it's a perfect melding of like good writing and phenomenal actors who you can just say, here, just fucking say something, and see what works.
Yeah,
and
I
that's how you end up with like a whole second Anchorman worth of material.
Pretty much.
Because Judd Apatow's standing behind the camera, like, say it smells like Bigfoot's dick, and then just rinse, just keep feeding them stuff.
So if you were to go to a stand-up special and you could make the lineup, who would you want to see?
Oh, fuck. I mean,
and you can include canceled comedians.
Yeah, canceled. You can if they're dead, we'll prop them up. Like just
Ooh, if they're dead too, that's how many does he get?
I was gonna say there's such a deep catalog. It's hard to do.
I don't know. It's obviously Sam's the expert on this one. Like most, I've only gone to a handful of comedy shows, but there's usually 3 people.
Yeah, there's usually an opener, a feature, and a main act.
So I don't think you have to, like, in my opinion, unless Stu says it's his show, unless you want to like assign.
It's our show, Roxy. We do this. You and I do this every other week.
The spiel. I wanted to give you credit. I don't think you have to like assign rank like this would be the opener, but just like who do you think would be worth
Yeah.
If you want, we can come back to that question too.
No, I mean I'm just running through my head because there's so many damn talented comedians out there. It's just hard to pick like the 3 that I would throw out there, but I would have John Mulaney open just so that he can kind of get like you can get a feel for how the room's going to be because he's not one that'll really step on toes, but he's crafty with how he does it. Then in the middle act, I would have Mitch Hedberg come out and really rev up a crowd. And then I would probably have George Carlin close and be the main event there.
I was hoping you were going to say George Carlin.
I'd pay good fucking money.
Sorry for all the white people, but
Yeah, George Carlin would be on mine.
I think George Carlin gets a seat at a lot of those tables anyway, though, so I think
as he rightfully should.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that. Yeah, I just think John Mulaney's funny because of like his delivery with shit. Admittedly, though, when we went, and I was talking to Stoop about this a few weeks ago, like to me, you have to be like it makes it funnier when you can relate to the comedy.
Right.
It's like we were discussing that.
This is Roxy's get off my lawn moment.
Well, he made a lot of jokes about like his kids. Or his kid, I'm sorry, excuse me. And I just I don't relate to that. So it's just not funny to me. It's like there's nothing humorous about you getting up at 5:00 in the morning to go play wiffle ball on your front lawn. It's just I can't relate to that. So I just don't think it's funny. But like maybe I'm like missing the point of it. Maybe it is funny and I don't know.
What's funny to me is your disdain for it.
It's just not funny. I don't know. This dude used to like make jokes about doing blow and like eating ass, sucking dick, and selling drugs, and now he's like me. And
did he? Did John Mulaney do that stuff?
There's this one.
He didn't do it.
Well, no, he didn't do it. But there's this one scene where he's like walking down and he's like getting looked at by this lady, and while he's walking by, the lady's like, eat ass, suck a dick, and sell drugs. And like that shit is just funnier to me than my kid and I get up at 5:00 in the morning and we go play wiffle ball in the community and we're like the only ones out there. And it's just like, and the kid's like, yeah, like that's just not funny.
He was equating it to like being drunk and playing wiffle ball at 5 a.m. on your front lawn. That's how it feels like to have
like
a
with a
2-year-old
small child you're responsible for that. Like
right.
You kept your dick in somebody too long and now you have to like include them in your fucking comedy. Like I don't know. I think
please keep going.
Comedy is just life observation too.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think
I just thought it could have. I've seen better from him.
I think if anything's clear, it's that what I find funny is it's just people disliking things. I think if that wasn't made clear by exchange between Worm and I earlier about Killers of the Flower Moon.
Great comedy movie, by the way.
I really love
you guys both saw it, right?
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, I really I don't know, maybe it's how I was raised, just by some hating ass complainers. But you know, to me, that'll make me laugh easier than anything else. Is like when Roxy's got a problem with John Mulaney's material and can just vent about it. That's, to me, that's, you know, that Lewis Black energy is really what it is.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, that's. I think I'm in case it's not obvious by now. I think I'm at my best when some minor thing upsets me, like a movie that doesn't matter at all, right? That's, to me, that's the best. Is just like vitriol.
I had no I didn't take a side in that because I've never seen the movie, so I don't give a shit. But I definitely liked when Worm was like, "Go off, King," and you were like, "Okay."
I will.
Yes, sir.
Will do.
Thank you. I would love to.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that man dearly. I hope to see more of him. So, Samuel,
That's me.
what's wrong with you? Is it, let me rephrase. Is it, do you think, see, in my mind, there's perfectly, what's the opposite word of correlation?
I mean, you're doing this while
yeah, because I'm picturing, because you gotta just get in here and
I don't know what you're drawing.
It's a graph. It's a graph, and one line is like mental health, and then one line is like appreciation for comedy, or rather, not appreciation for comedy, ability to laugh at anything.
So you'd say your mental health's got to be down here.
I think that it's an inverse correlation, or an adverse correlation is what it is. That as mental health improves, your ability to laugh at anything, the opposite of improve. I'm having trouble with the English language today, buddy. Good thing I'm hosting a podcast.
You're saying the more depressed you are, the funnier. Essentially,
that's an oversimplified way of putting it.
I mean, at least the words are coming out here. So.
Yeah, sure. And so I want to know, my question for our guest is, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Back to the original question. What is wrong with you?
When you go like this and then you do some of this.
He's trying to make a graph out of his hands and it keeps getting in the way.
If you guys can't visualize the graph, that's not my problem. All right.
Sam, question.
I have answered this to many people who have asked what is wrong with me, because I do get asked that a lot. For a myriad of reasons. I mean, I didn't. There's two reasons. One is military service. Everyone there is miserably fucked up in the head, so you get that all in a collective. Funny shit happens.
I've never been so compelled to enlist.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they need you in those to go to those the high schools in the port.
Yeah. You want to laugh? Join them.
And then what's
the other thing is, I almost died in 2016.
Oh yeah.
So
I didn't know that until I read your article.
Yeah. Once I survived that, I had a whole new outlook on life. That why the fuck is everybody miserable and giving a shit about everything?
Oh, so were you like a super uptight prick before that or something?
No,
he was in the army.
That's true. No, I mean, I just didn't.
Just ask those folks at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, right. I saved their lives. I mean, I had a similar outlook on life before then, but like on the brink of death and coming back from that, you realize life really could just end at any second. So being hung up on anything stupid is really a waste of your time,
And
which
by
is why
by
I
anything
just don't
stupid,
care about anything.
by anything stupid, you mean anything.
Anything, literally anything. And that's why I think everything is funny.
So
And
like
that's why people think I'm insane.
So like I said, it's this inverse relationship.
Yep.
This
Yeah, but my
adverse-
mental health is completely fine, and I think everything is funny.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Um, so I'm not willing to make any such proclamation.
I'm not paying somebody to tell me I'm fine just because they have problem with how I act.
Going to the doctor week.
Yeah, that's right. We don't.
Therapy is for quitters.
That's right. And medical care is for quitters too.
Damn right it is.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
you need a colonoscopy.
So why are you here then?
Yeah.
You sought medical care.
Well, he didn't.
I didn't seek it.
Yeah, they took him there.
I was
Out of his control.
Yeah, I was hallucinating.
He would have chosen to die with honor like a man.
Damn right.
If it didn't happen in Mount Rushmore, damn it.
I'm gonna go out a hero either way.
Okay, I asked the last question, so I get to make you do it, Roxy.
Hell yes. Well, my questions are boring because the show has to be a bit of balance sometimes, and I think
just like you and I do every episode.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
sometimes it's a struggle though. Sometimes I want to, but getting back to the comedies, I will ask, what is a comedy movie that everybody really likes that you don't?
That's a good question.
That everybody likes that I don't.
I wouldn't say I guess everybody, because
That's more loved than hated.
Popular. Yeah. What's your hot take? Like the popular movies that are popular that you don't like.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of one.
Thinking's hard.
Yeah, thinking of every comedy ever made. I can't believe you don't know every comedy ever made.
I know. That's
that's true.
I for the record, I kind of agree with Caitlin here in the comments. She offers Napoleon Dynamite. I'd pick that on a short list.
I love Napoleon.
I don't hate it. But I certainly never quite, I don't know, got it.
If you have to ask, you don't know.
Well, it just didn't make me laugh out loud, I think, when I watched it is all.
Do you think it's because it lacks a significant plot?
No, I don't know. I just
or are you not more into that drier humor?
I am in real life. I think maybe I had it spoiled for me because it was such a big deal when we were in middle school or whenever that came out. Whenever the hell that was.
Yeah, it was 06.
Let's see. Oh my God. 2004.
So that was, yeah, so I don't know. I think I just it was so blown out of proportion how good it was, and then we watched it and we were kind of like, "The hell is this?" And I'd probably like it more if I watched it as an adult, because the bar for irreverence now is at a different place than it once was, and that's probably why I have such trouble enjoying any sincere art.
Any movie that doesn't shove tater tots in pockets.
Yeah, which we found out today.
It's not. Sam, you got anything? Did we?
I'm going through a list right now to kind of look, and so far I'm not finding anything.
Because it's super subjective though, obviously, because
right.
There's even just looking on IMDb, most of these movies I've never even liked.
To be fair, there's also some of these movies that I haven't even watched. So
movie 43 is pretty bad.
Wasn't that one of those big cash grabs where all the got in on it for the hell? Yeah, I never
pretty much.
I didn't.
Hugh Jackman put balls on his chin. You think
it was just a bunch of different sketches that didn't do anything?
Yeah, yeah. Who needs that? But I'm giving Sam time here, and I'm just talking. I took my mom to see Killers of the Flower Moon last night to let the audience in on this very fucking inside baseball that we've been referencing. and it's not. I mean, it's not a comedy, but
It is to somebody.
There is. I will say that I can say I'm not spoiling anything if I disclose that there was one scene that did make me laugh out loud. And Sam, I think you've seen it recently enough that you would know when DiCaprio's character is in the living room with the character's name is Bill Smith is the other guy, and DiCaprio's just visibly uncomfortable. By the way, this guy's face had to fucking hurt after shooting this film. He's just miserably
Constant frown
frowning the whole time, and it's 3.5 goddamn hours. But
I'm glad that's what would make him uncomfortable.
But
not the women he sleeps with.
The two of these guys are in this room, and DiCaprio's just kind of can't relax, and the guys, the exchange is gorgeous. Good conflict. The other guy goes, do you need a drink? And DiCaprio goes, yeah, sure, I'll take a drink. And the other guy goes, no. It's just very obvious these two guys don't like each other. DiCaprio goes, then why'd you offer me one? And the guy goes, well, you just seem nervous is all. And DiCaprio's character says, no, I'm not nervous. It's just I don't like talking to you is all. that did make me laugh out loud.
So you laughed like out loud in this class.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Were you?
I wasn't the only one laughing.
Okay.
Everyone else. I mean, there weren't a ton of people in the theater. It was
that answered my next question.
But yeah, but the people were laughing. But and especially because it is such a fucking tense and depressing, and
it is a very depressing movie.
And so
it was that's not our topic.
Good moment of levity there. But walking out of the theater, thanks, Baloney. Well, I didn't want I don't want to spoil it for the people.
His ex-craft.
It flowed perfectly in my head. It's not my fucking problem if you can't see the vision. Okay,
see the vision.
But so especially I took my mom to see this because she wanted to see it, and
did she like it?
I think she liked it. She's much more.
I mean, it seems weird to say if you liked the movie.
True. That's a good point. But she's much more of a literary consumer of media than I am. She had read the book about this, like she knows the history, and it was all.
Your mom likes to be depressed.
Well, she just likes learning things, and she also she has a better appreciation for film than I do, I think. But I told her leaving the theater that I'm concerned that I may have lost the ability to enjoy things.
And that movie's the thing that made you realize it?
No,
did it solidify it for you?
It's been a slow realization, but when I was about halfway through this fucking gauntlet of a film, and it was starting to wear on me, and just I'm having cynical thoughts about every shot and every scene, and
there wasn't like a bathroom break. There really should be. They really should I think somebody's mentioned this before. If enough people push a button.
Yeah, well, for a 3.5 goddamn hour movie, there should be.
There's a lot.
And there was, by the way, scattered through. It was as if they forgot that you can cut stuff. Like they forgot. Like no one did any editing for this movie. They left everything in there. Like scattered throughout this 3.5 hour production was easily an hour of just fucking nothing.
That's how I felt about Batman.
Didn't need to be in there, and that's fair. That's valid. Anyway, have I stalled long enough for you to find an answer to Roxy's question, Sam?
I haven't found it. I scrolled through 150 fucking movie posters.
Well, but so really quick, then go into the comments here. Andy has a comment like the parody era or parody movie era sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's like I think the scary movies, like Scary Movie 1, 2, 3,
Mhm.
whatever. I think those are fucking hilarious.
Oh, I love those. Yeah.
Scary Movie 3 is probably one of my favorite like
same.
scary movies.
Same.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and rewatch those because I think there's probably some humor that didn't catch me, or
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you for sure that I actually saw the entire movie of any of them. But I didn't have a good frame of reference because at that when those were coming out, I hadn't like seen the horror movies that they were spoofing anyway. I just remember the goddamn Scream masks for Halloween, and everyone had the one that you had the little blood that you pumped through it.
Yeah, pumped it.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
But overall, I don't.
And you remember how those things smelled. It's still in there. Probably just straight.
It's ingrained in your nostrils forever.
Probably just cancer is the smell.
Asbestos and cancer.
Yeah. Yeah,
A little bit of anthrax.
Yeah, probably mercury in there.
Yeah, how else would the blood get moving in there?
But okay, so Superbad is the go-to.
Yeah. That or Pineapple Express, yeah.
Movie. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, because those are two Seth Rogen productions.
Mm-hmm.
Sensing a trend.
Yeah. Huh. Rank the Seth Rogen movies you can think of.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Now, how about I'll look some of them up, and then you tell me, like on a maybe like on a scale.
Sure. Let him shoot.
All right. In the meantime, so we've got for go-to comedy movie, we've got Superbad. For go-to comedy TV show, we've got The Office. What the fuck else is there? What about what? Have you named? We asked comedians dead or alive. What about living comedians? Do you have a current favorite?
Tom Segura. It's my
current favorite. Yeah, that's who I thought you were gonna say. That's easy.
Don't be stingy, Mark.
Yeah, he is funny. His material and his delivery are very good.
His demeanor about it is just the best too.
Yeah, and he seems like he'd be like a fun guy or a chill guy to like hang out with. I had my phase during the thing to where I was watching his podcast, but I got tired. I got tired of.
Caitlin asked you a question: which comedy show do you hate that everybody loves?
I answered this on a Drafty Pod episode, and it's Seinfeld. I can't stand that show.
Hang on, because
we got 12 minutes left. Think about this.
Because there's
Seinfeld sucks.
Okay, hang on.
No, Seinfeld sucks.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't have like particular love for Seinfeld. Friends is worse.
I've not had the fortune of catching Friends. I promise sucks too.
I promise if you sit through one episode of Friends, you're like, oh my god, you'd be like, give me a full season of Seinfeld to binge over this. I promise you.
No, I'll just die.
I think they're both rough. As somebody who doesn't.
What about Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I love Curb.
So Curb is deconstructed Seinfeld, really.
Yeah, it's the funny stuff that Larry David comes up with without Jerry Seinfeld making his dumb face into everything.
Yeah, well, and I think too that
creepy ass Jerry Seinfeld. Don't forget he dated a 17-year-old and he's 38 years old. That's fucking disgusting. Fuck Jerry Seinfeld anyway.
Yeah, well, and
he spent a lot of time on Leonardo DiCaprio too, so like just keep.
Yeah,
hey, 25 is a good number.
I put out the disclaimer at like the 15-minute mark. Viewers, you can go see.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
But I think that Seinfeld. This is purely me editorializing here, but I think that Seinfeld. All three of us are right around the 30-year-old mark, and I think we don't have an appreciation for how irreverent Seinfeld was at the time that it came out, because sitcoms were so unbelievably sterile and polished and censor friendly, sponsor friendly, and look no further than goddamn fucking Friends, which is just a laundry detergent commercial.
And neither of them are as bad as like Big Bang Theory, for example.
Also
so like all of the shows were Big Bang Theory is what I'm saying, but like even Big Bang Theory has more teeth to it than like what sitcoms had become when Seinfeld. I think, and I'm defending a position that I don't necessarily hold personally, but I think that was kind of the appeal, that Seinfeld was edgier and had more teeth and had more irreverence to it than anything at the time. But yeah, I think for us that we're like still, shitting in diapers when Seinfeld ended. I don't think.
Sorry, finish your thought.
No, I just don't. I think that it's not like for us. It's not going to land with us. Whereas Curb totally does, because that was completely off its rocker and it was on HBO and he was allowed to do and say whatever the hell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the commonality between those three awful shows is it's a fucking laugh track show. That's what kills it immediately. Immediately.
Yeah.
Like I loved that 70s show, and then somebody pointed out they used the laugh track way too much. And I fucking glass shattering moment. I realized that and I was like, now I hate this show. I can't fucking unhear it. It's unbearable.
Yeah. No, that's what the genre was at the time. And
yeah.
That's just something we can't wrap our heads around.
It's forced, and you're like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, you don't tell me when to laugh. Go fuck yourself.
Oh. And it's like, they go for the cheapest, dumbest jokes and, the dad jokes, and they hit the laugh track. You're like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, and it speak ill of Friends after Matthew Perry decided his ride was over. That's so rude of you.
God, hats off to him. Nothing but the best. I have no ill will.
You don't have to do that. No,
I have no ill will towards any of those people. I don't know them. I don't care. But fuck, that show is bad. Holy shit! Holy goddamn shit!
Make a bad show. It's not their fault. They were hired.
Every single possible.
They make the show. Don't they make the show bad?
No, the writing makes the show bad.
Every single.
Wouldn't a good actress or actor make writing better?
They can.
Well, and I think they did. I think they did carry it. I think the only reason that show has any appeal at all is because they were good actors and they did play the shit out of what they were given. And like clearly, like they all went on to have successful careers for the most part. But fuck, every single lowest hanging cliche ass fucking stereotype in the book is, oh God, man. Anyway,
also they would never be able to afford those apartments in New York City. What they did for a living.
Well, maybe back then. I don't know.
Yeah.
They used to just be fucking. They used to just be fucking giving shelter away. Hey, you got a nickel? All right, here,
go live there.
Yeah. Shit. Who asked a question last?
Roxy.
Fuck. God damn it. All right. Is the human race redeemable?
And if so, is it redeemable through comedy?
Stop asking that.
What do you mean? You've never been on this show before. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I've watched this show before.
We appreciate your love and support.
The human race is not redeemable.
Yeah, you're not going to have a better answer than Yumper did, man.
But comedy can help be a little Band-Aid on that shit to, ease the passing.
Yeah, help you through this godforsaken mortal coil. Well, I asked a question, Roxy.
All right, I guess. What's like an off limits topic that you would like comedians to cover more of? And by saying off limits, I mean like to society, because like comedy knows, like you can really do anything.
I mean, there isn't anything off limits in the comedy world from what I've observed.
Well, that's why I went by like society. Right. Like society frowns upon things, or I guess like what's a topic that has been covered that's gotten backlash that you don't think should have?
Oh, he's gonna say Chappelle easily.
Yeah, but like, get
I
specific,
can
though.
answer for him.
Like,
I know the exact answer.
Well, yeah, but I want him to explain.
It's
You
not.
don't-
It's not even that.
I think you know a guy.
I'm trying to even think. It's a lot of it was.
Yeah, this is your
having-
topic, and you've come very unprepared.
I'm
We've
always
been more
unprepared.
prepared than you have.
Yeah.
Let this be a lesson.
Let this be a lesson to future guests. You have to. We don't do preparation. You do preparation.
I mean, a big topic everybody gets up is obviously the LGBTQ plus community, but it's definitely been modified over the last few years for how people dance around the topic. Nobody's like going gung ho and trying to go after everyone.
Yeah, well, I think it's been a gradual process, but I think that comedians have figured out how to respectfully joke about marginalized communities and whatever. And
Right.
I think that it's easy for those of us that aren't fucking idiots to identify when, like Roseanne Barr is just making, just boomer bait, right? And
Right.
just like, this is like, come on, man, like it's fucking Carlos Mencia stole all those jokes, and that was 20 fucking years ago.
Right.
Like that material doesn't work anymore. It barely even worked then.
And comedy too is getting more like, it's not just respectfully, it's not just like white and black dudes anymore. Like,
no, it's
it's just way everybody. I think anybody can get up on stage now, whereas
that's one big positive. I'm a big critic of social media in general, but that's a big positive that I've seen from social media is like there's no it's easy for I was guilty of this as a musician, that it's easy to be bitter of other bands or artists who figure out how to play the social media game. Right. But in terms of comedy, it's there's no getting around, like you're funny or you're not funny.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a net positive that's come out of social media, is that in terms of as far as comedy goes, your jokes either fucking land or they don't.
And I mean, social media has also given a bigger platform to people trying to get into comedy. Big examples, Matt Rife. Dude is huge on TikTok, but a year ago he couldn't even get time in a club.
Now, I think I'm part of a growing community, and also most comedians who wish that the algorithm didn't fucking love crowd work so much.
Right. But that's the only thing you see. I mean, he doesn't just do crowd work, but that's what everybody goes
right. But that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little remedial, I think.
Right.
It's
I mean, there are some people who only do crowd work for their entire hour, and they are very good at it. Ian Bagg being one of them. Jimmy Carr's another good one.
And I think that kind of goes into, not to really change the subject, but I know we're kind of looking to wrap up soon. That kind of goes into the question that Baloney asked, just because there's a lot of comedians, I think, that like you've talked about, that a lot of people don't know. So like, who's a comedian? The question is, who's a comedian, or what's a comedy show that should be well more known, in your opinion?
For me, for comedians, more people should know about Brent Morin should be more well known. He's got a stand-up special on Netflix. I also enjoy a woman named Monterey Martinez. I don't think she has anything out there, but you can find her clips and stuff on there. She's a very, very dark humor based person. She's very good, very, very well crafted. And then, I mean, for a while, Netflix was giving basically a Netflix special to anyone for whatever reason. But Mitch Fattel never like really had a big thing. He's always done audio albums, and they're all ridiculously good. And please check out Mitch Fattel if you haven't. He is absolutely hilarious. He's got old stuff on Comedy Central, albums, all sorts of stuff.
I've got one to add that I've been trying to get you to watch, Samuel. Which is Noel Miller is has been a favorite of mine for a little while. He's got a podcast that is called Tiny Meat Gang, or you can search TMG, and they're very he and Cody Co are very funny gentlemen.
Yeah, Cody Co's-
I've heard of Cody Co. Yeah,
But Noel's stand-up special that he just put out on YouTube for free is, I think it's called Stop Crying. And I was not expecting how edgy his material was, and I fucking loved it. And so that's another one that I'd recommend to people who don't mind a line stepper or an envelope pusher.
Yeah, and that's what I think makes comedy so good, is that anybody can, once you find your like niche person that, just deliver, like John Mulaney, to me, as popular as he is, like he just delivers in a way that I think is really fucking funny. And it's just, to me, with the exception of talking about his fucking kid, there's a lot of stuff that this guy can talk about and make it funny. And so I think that's what makes comedy so great. And I think it's a great topic. I'm glad that even though this was your first time on this show, I think you crushed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think maybe we want to take a couple of viewer questions or highlight a couple of comments here to close this out.
Sure.
Like we do every show. like I do every show.
3 desert island comedy movies.
What
Superbad.
does that mean?
Superbad. Oh,
Like
if you're on a desert island, what 3
what
movies
are,
can you make?
I think you've got bigger fish to fry. How are you watching
Yeah, like,
these movies, Caitlin?
What books are you gonna read?
This is a terrible question. Next question.
Answer the question, Stoop.
For me, it's Superbad, Pineapple Express, and probably Hot Rod would be my third one. Fucking love that movie.
I have no choices, because if I'm on a desert island and I'm watching movies, I've been kidnapped or I'm going to kill myself. Just do not want to spend my remaining hours watching movies.
Hell yeah.
Well, admitting that.
Hell yeah.
I like this question from Andy. Do you think AI will be capable of writing decent comedy? Accidentally, yes.
I can answer that, Andy. I've tested this, and yes, it can. We're fucked. People are fucked, man. I mean, our time is about to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Which is fine.
Wrap it up.
And I, for one, welcome our robot overlords.
Wrap this shit up.
Yeah,
but yes,
let's see
also,
one more.
Baloney acknowledging bum of the week. It's not even Mulaney's kid. The kid just exists. Like, that's one thing that I've changed my stance on in the past 5 years, is that kids aren't the problem. It's their fucking parents. Kids are fine. Your kid is never going to be dumber than it is right now if you do things correctly. Every day is another opportunity for your kid to become smarter. But if they don't, that's your fault. And so why am I going to be upset at this kid for wanting to get up and play wiffle ball at 5 o'clock in the morning? Doesn't know any better. It's his fucking stupid ass dad thinking that that's funny enough for a stand-up comedy tour.
I laughed.
Sam, you're laughing at your own joke right now. It doesn't.
I know.
It doesn't take much, but it's important to realize that it's not the kid; it's the dumbass adult that thinks their kid is important enough to talk about in front of people. We don't even know what this kid looks like. Who the fuck cares? Not the kid's fault. You do you, kid.
Roxy, you need to go to more comedy shows.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up episode 5 of Talking Out Our Ass. This has been lovely. Sam, thank you so much for being our guest on this episode. Do you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
I have a podcast that I do every Thursday. You may have heard of it. It's called From the 108 Podcast.
Nice.
I'm usually on there hosting, doing a lot of good stuff, talking baseball, it's how I do things. Check us out 8 o'clock every Thursday,
Yeah, we will
Sweet.
definitely check that
Yeah,
out.
I'll look into it for sure.
Good.
Yeah. Well,
Glad to be here.
this has been lovely. Roxy, as usual, thank you for co-hosting with me. Any parting remarks that you've got that maybe aren't kid related?
No, actually, no. Then you put that in there. I was ready, and then unfortunately not.
She was gonna triple down on kids.
I
Well,
was
that-
ready. I
Well,
was going
well, that's beautiful because we're 5 minutes over. Folks, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel that is All Sports Scene. Follow the All Sports Scene on social media. We have blogs coming out once in a while. Roxy just wrote a terrific one that you should go check out. Let's see, on the channel on Thursday, we're going to have a podcast. It's called Askcast. Make sure you tune in for that. You can't miss programming there. I've been your host, Stoop Kid. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless the United States of America.